Welcome to this beginner Make Your First Blender Character tutorial. Everything is subtitled, leaving no room for confusion. It is highly advisable that you go through this guide first, for it will give you some super features that you will use for this tutorial. Assuming you are done following the initial video guide, here we go. Delete everything from the default scene. Press A to select everything, press X and then press D. Create a plane and rotate it to face the front by 90 degrees. Press N to open the end panel and make sure it's 90 degrees. In front view, move the plane up. Go to Edit mode by pressing Tab, select the top two vertices and make it a little taller to form the head. Go to Edge Selection mode. Select the top and bottom edge. Then press Ctrl R and middle mouse scroll up once. Left click, press 0, enter. Press S to scale the two new edges to get ready for the neck. Select this edge. Press E to extrude and pull it down. It will form the base for the neck and body. Press S at the end to scale it down a little. Select these two edges, Ctrl R and move the line to the neck area. Select this side of the new edge. Press E and then press X to restrict the movement to the X-axis. Go to Vertex Selection mode. Select these two vertices and press S to scale, and then X to restrict it to the X-axis, and then press 0 and then press Enter to straighten it. Move this point up to form the pelvis. Go to Edge Selection mode and select this edge. Extrude, rotate, and scale to form the leg. Extrude one more time to form the feet. Select these two edges and Ctrl R to cut another edge for the knee. Select these three edges and Ctrl R to cut another edge. Go to Vertex Selection mode, move it up and straighten it like so. Go to Edge Selection mode and extrude out the shoulder. Then go to Vertex Selection mode and shape it a little. Go to Edge Selection mode and extrude out the arm. Taper it down at the end via scaling. Select these two edges. Ctrl R and roll your mouse wheel to divide it like so. Go to Vertex Selection mode and move them into place. Spend some time to shape the hand. Go to Edge Selection mode and extrude the thumb out like so. Go to Vertex Selection mode and shape it a little. Go to Edge Selection mode and select all the edges here. Ctrl R to cut it down the middle. Then go to Face Selection mode, select the other half and delete it. Go to Edge Selection mode and select these edges. Ctrl R to cut it. Go to Vertex Selection mode and line them up. Do it again so that you have two lines forming a belt. Go back to Object mode, apply the mirror modifier and click Apply. Go back to Edit mode again. Go to Face Selection mode. Select the head and separate it like so. Select the neck faces and separate it as well. Go back to Object mode. Time to add a third dimension to your creation. Select the body and add a solidify modifier. Adjust the thickness to your desire. Do the same for the neck and head. Click Apply on the modifier for all three of them. With the head selected, click Object, Set Origin, Origin to Geometry. Do the same for the neck as well. With the body selected, go to Edit Mode. Turn on Mirror X here. Go to Vertex Selection Mode and go to the front view. Select, rotate, and move the legs to straighten them. What you see here is my beef with Blender. You are unable to select the back vertices unless you're in wireframe mode. I wish they fixed this. Go to Face Selection Mode and extrude the feet out. Go to Vertex Selection Mode and move the two vertices down. Scale the hand thinner so that it better resembles the shape of a hand. Roll the viewport so that the hand is pointing downward. Select View from the menu here. Rotate the hand so that it now points at the correct direction. Adjust the hands into place. Go back to Object Mode. Create a cylinder and rotate it by 45 degrees. Select the body again and enter into Edit Mode. Go into Vertex Selection Mode and while using the cylinder as directional reference, move and rotate the arm into place. For some reason, the other side is not mirroring too well. That's okay. We will delete the other side and mirror it again. Go into Face Selection Mode, select the other half of the body and delete it. Go back to Object Mode. Apply the mirror modifier and click Apply. We can now delete the cylinder. Spend some time refining the proportion of your character. There is no right or wrong proportion here. It's a cartoon, so have fun. When you are done with this step, it's time for the final step. Making sure that your character's height matches real-world's height. You might be asking, since it is a cartoon, why does that matter? I'll give you two reasons. I'm sure there are others. Reason 1, soft reason. You might merge your work with other artists' work in some kind of collaboration. And in those situations, if everyone is using their own mythical scale of whatever, you won't be able to make heads or tail of that combined world. Reason 2. This reason alone is enough. Renderers that produce accurate results are usually, not always, but usually, physically accurate. That means they calculate light and material interaction under real-world scales. If your CG character or items are not scaled correctly akin to their possible real-world counterpart, something will look off in the final render and you won't really be able to objectively tell why. Now it should be noted that it is absolutely possible to make small objects look huge, and vice versa by playing with camera lenses and the speed at which a character moves. But we are not talking about that. We are talking about taking care of how the renderers interpret the lighting interactions with your model, which is on a whole other level of meta. Create a cube. Type in the height of your character according to your best estimate. Create a plane and scale it out. Move the cube up. When you're done with that, press and hold Shift and select the floor and press Alt-A. You will see this dialog. This dialog that you are seeing here requires you to install an add-on. Please click under the video description and install the free add-on. Match the settings and click OK. With your character selected, click through the menu as shown here. Press N and zero out the position of your character here. Now make sure to only select the up arrow and move your character up. After that, press and hold Shift and select the cube and press Alt-A. Match these settings. You can now delete the plane. With your character selected, press Shift-C. Select Cursor to Grid. Now set origin to 3D cursor like so. Now with your character selected, press S and scale your character down until it matches the height of the cube. You can now delete the cube. As you can now see in the end panel, it registers that your character has been scaled. We want to reset that. So click Apply or Transform here. 3D Studio Max users will remember this as Reset X Form. Go back to Edit mode. Go to Face mode. Go to Wireframe mode so that we can select the back-facing faces as well, or else we won't be able to. I really wish Blender fixed this problem. Select the entire arm. Press Y to split the arm, and then press G to move it, and then press X to restrict it to the X-axis. Move it out just a little. Select the outer edges of these two meshes and bridge them like so. Go back to Face mode. Delete the old face of the model by pressing X and then select Faces here. Go back to Object mode. Apply a mirror modifier and hit Apply. Congratulations on finishing your very first Blender 3D character. Now we'll make it posable by adding bones inside the mesh. If you're watching just the rigging section, please understand that this is part of a much larger Build Your First 3D Character in Blender video that you can also find in my channel. Everything will be subtitled. The screen capture process that you'll be seeing matches the subtitle paste perfectly, leaving no room for confusion. I will not be talking about add-ons like Rigify here. I want to make sure that you know how to use the bones on their own merit without any special assistance so that you actually know what is going on. Let's go. It's time to add bones into our character so that we can pose him. Press Shift-A, Armature, Single Bone. Move the bone so that it takes its place as the hip/root bone. Scale it down as shown. Go to Edit mode. Select the bottom point of the bone and press E to extrude. Press E to extrude all the way down to the ankle. Press E to extrude all the way down to the feet. Select the long leg bone. Subdivide the bone like so. Move the knee points up to match the knee line of your character. Move this part forward so that the bone bends like so. Select the top part of the hip bone and press E 3 times to extrude it like so. Select this point. Press E to extrude the shoulder joint. Press E again to extrude out the arm. Extrude from here to form the head bone. Select the long arm bone and subdivide it like so. Move this point to match up with the elbow line. Subdivide one more time here. And move the new points to match up with the wrist joint. Move the elbow point back a little like so. Name this bone as pelvis. Name this bone as spine 0. Name this bone as spine 1. Name this bone as neck. Name this bone as head. Name this bone as clavicle.L. Name this bone as bicep.L. Name this bone as forearm.L. Name this bone as hand.L. Name this bone as pelvis connector.L. Name this bone as thigh.L. Name this bone as knee.L. Name this bone as feet.L. Now select all these bones as I have selected them here. Right-click, Symmetrize. You will see that the bones are now perfectly mirrored. Go back to Object mode. Go to Shaded mode. Click in front so that the bones are visible at all times. Select the Boxman. Then, while holding Shift, select the bone. Now press Ctrl P. Then select with automatic weights. Now with the bone selected, you can go to Pose mode and rotate things around to see that you can now pose your character. You can pretty much close the video now if you want, for you are 90% done. For most beginners, this is enough. The next step is setting up inverse kinematics to make posing much easier. With the bones selected, go back to Edit mode and select one of the feet and press Alt P. Click the two options that appear. Naturally, this means you have to press Alt P twice. Do the same with the other feet. Now if you go to Pose mode, you will be able to move your feet bones out like so. Select the foot bone and then, while holding Shift, select the knee bone and then press Shift I. Select to active bone. Set the chain length to 2. Do the same for the other feet. Now move the feet bone and see what happens. Do the same for the hand. Go back to Edit mode. Select the hand bone. Press Alt P and select those two options in the menu that appears. Do the same with the other hand bone. Go back to Pose mode and set up the inverse kinematics for both hands. Now when I select the hip bone and move it around, I realize it's not connected. Select this bone. Then while holding Shift, select the hip bone, press Ctrl P and select Keep Offset. Do the same on the other side as well. When you go to Pose mode, you can now play with your new action figure. The rest of the video is just me having fun posing the model and playing with Blender's real-time Eevee renderer, which I will cover next time. The Eevee renderer is a whole topic unto itself. Congratulations on your new posable action figure. There is still more to learn in the time to come. This is Bracewell Jack, and I will see you next week. Bye.